Hello, hello. What is up, my favorite camping buddy? How are you doing today? I'm super excited. Today is day 4 of TVC Live, our special series. Today we've got Put the Sing in Single, How to Travel Solo, baby. Look at this graphic, guys. I just want to point it out because I thought it was hilarious when I made it. So I hope you do too. Hit the haha button if you do. Also, if you are catching the replay, say what is up. Tell me where you're coming from. Also, if I don't know already, tell me your RV status. Are you a full-timer, a dreamer, a weekend warrior, whatever? And today, our tips are coming from these two resources right here, Women on the Road, Essential Guide for 50 Plus Solo Travel, and A Female Guide to Solo Travel, Discover Your Eat, Pray, Love. As you guys know, I have a 4-year-old, I have a husband, I'm not a solo traveler. But before I met my husband, when I was in college, I used to travel a lot in my car alone. I think one time I traveled something like 20 states in 6 months or something like that, just by myself, just picking a place, saying I want to go, and go. Also, this is kind of a funny story before we get into it. When I graduated high school, I left my mom a Dear John letter on my pillow, and I took my pink scooter named Barbie to the Greyhound, and I took a Greyhound back to my hometown. I realized that kind of sucked, and I rode the Greyhound for a few months just alone. Just traveling around until my mother finally found out where I was and dragged me home. So I have been a solo traveler before, just not right now. All right. So if you are excited, go ahead and put that hashtag excited. If you don't know where this GIF is from, this is the Single Ladies music video from Beyonce. I thought that was like a funny, appropriate GIF. We've got Amadi watching. Hey man, how you doing? He says he's in his tent. How's that going for you, buddy? Thanks for watching. All right, let's get into this. I've already told too many irrelevant stories. All right, tip number 1, take driving lessons and maintain your rig. Of course, I recommend this for every RVer. Driving lessons, I don't know how you can buy a 40-foot coach and not have to have some special license, but welcome to America. But for solo travelers especially, I highly, highly recommend this. You probably don't have a 40-foot rig as a solo traveler, but I feel like it's so important for you to really learn how to drive, get people's advice, like actual professionals' advice, get a ton of practice before you go out there on the road. I think probably less than 2 months ago, I saw a guy backing up a brand new travel trailer, and there was another person in the campground trying to help, super nice. But honestly, I was just standing there watching because they were blocking the road. I was walking home from the shower. They were blocking the road, and this guy was directing him, but they just weren't communicating properly. And the guy, it was on a concrete pad, and the guy kept going off the concrete pad, doing this 18-point turn, and almost, ripped his trailer off of his truck because they just weren't communicating well. So don't rely on strangers to help you back up, etc. Take driving lessons. It's definitely worth it. Also, maintain your rig. You are out there alone. RVs break. There is no industry standard for RVs. Even the high-end ones, you need to learn your systems. There's basic RV systems. My husband is an RV tech. If you're traveling solo, you won't have that. So go ahead and spend the money. Go to a workshop. Buy Ed's course. Take the RV Service Academy. Go there. Take the 10-week course. It's worth it if you're going to be out there. You need to know what to do when your fridge breaks, when your propane doesn't work, when you smell something funny. All of that is so important as a solo traveler because you don't have someone else to bounce ideas off of on what is going on, or even to know more than you. So you need to be as prepared as possible. Hey, Martina. She says, finally found you. So glad. If you guys hear my daughter in the background, she's watching a really intense like superhero show right now. Hey, Christy, how you doing? You guys, if you're watching right now, you're catching the replay, do me a quick favor and just hit the share button. That's going to help bring even more virtual campers to us. So that would be like, I would love you so much. All right, tip number 2. This goes completely into what I was just saying about maintaining your rigs, RVs breaking. Expect the unexpected, guys. As a solo traveler, it's just so important to be fully prepared for everything. So important. Hang on, guys. My daughter's asking for peanut butter jelly, obviously. This is, oh, that makes me laugh. Anyway, expect the unexpected. You want to make sure all your important documents, you have photocopies, digital files, things like that, because something might happen where you lose them, they get damaged, whatever. You want to make sure they're in other places other than your rig. Give them to a friend that doesn't travel, a family member, someone you trust. Put them in a file on the cloud, whatever. You need all these documents. I'm talking about if you have pets, their vaccinations, medical records of yours and your pets, you know, birth certificate, insurance, all that stuff that you know you need. Make sure you have backups because you have to expect the unexpected. All right, one sec. That's so funny that the one day Chelsea is asking things of me. I'm talking about traveling solo. Way to establish myself as an expert, right? I did have one more tip. Sorry, I'm going to look at my notes. Chelsea's distracting me. Oh, yeah, it's circled, so I wouldn't forget. Get a really good and inclusive first aid kit. Of course, I don't want to scare anyone and say you're going to get injured and you're going to have to go to the hospital and you'll be alone and it'll be terrible. But things do happen. You're working on your rig outside, you cut your leg. You want a really expansive, inclusive first aid kit. Because if you're alone, maybe you have to drive yourself to hospital, something like that. You want to make sure you have everything in your rig to help you out in those dangerous situations. So make sure you have that, okay? All right, tip number 3, don't forget to make friends. This one seems obvious and probably the one you hear the most as a solo traveler, but there are, you know, I know for myself, I'm an extrovert, but left to my own devices, I really just work. And if you're a traveler that's solo and you're working, you might have a tendency to do that. One second. Sorry, guys. Let's wrap this up real quick. So go to like free walking tours at the national parks, things like that. If you're somewhere for a few days in a row, go to the same coffee shop. Someone's bound to notice, bound to strike up a conversation with you. Get a gym membership where you can go anywhere in the nation, like Planet Fitness, Orange Theory. That way you always have someplace familiar and you can meet people, that's part of your routine. And join travel groups or take a caravan once a year. Just don't forget to make friends. Last but not least, I want to share with you guys, I know I'm sharing a ton of resources the last 4 days. These are the resources I've shared so far. I don't want you to go out and look for them. They are going to be part of the Smart Travel Super Bundle you'll see. And this is going to go on sale Monday, July 15th. And that's going to be a really low cost resource for you guys. And so just be on the lookout for that. You don't need to go searching for all these resources. Putting it all in one place for you come Monday morning. Also, tomorrow, tune in for day 5, Anxious Much, Easing Your Travel Anxiety. As you can see, traveling can be stressful. If you've been following me for a while, you know on the blog I talk about all the mistakes I've made, all the crazy stories, all the anxiety I've had the last 3 years living and traveling in an RV. So tomorrow I'm going to speak a lot from personal experience and maybe some more of these resources. on how to ease that travel anxiety and to really have fun with it. Thank you guys so much. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow at 12:30.